Hey, what's up? This is Uncle Jay. I could be talking to you about anything in the world, but today I'm just going to give my post thoughts or post fight comments on the Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Victor Ortiz. I know this is a bit out of character for me. I love combat sports in general, which is kickboxing, boxing, mixed martial arts, but usually I just tend to do UFC predictions because as much as I like to comment and do videos about it, I just like to sit down and enjoy it and not have to do anything about it, if you get my drift. So I tend to do just fights and videos on UFC predictions. I don't even do fight nights because I think everything else is just like a backstory to the UFC main events. So that's just my mindset. But I watched the Floyd Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz. I tend to watch all the boxing matches that come on, really, all the major ones, anyone, or the ones that interest me. And I just wanted to comment on this one because let me just talk about the fight in general. You had Floyd Mayweather Jr., who is a master of boxing defense. Anyone that knows you, he just says he's a boxer, he's a craftsman in the ring because he has impeccable defense. Very good. In fact, he's a perfect live example of what a boxer should look like. Then you have the young, ferocious Victor Ortiz, who's just a power boxer puncher. And when you think of a real life Rocky type character, you think of Victor Ortiz because he has the skills, but he has that never say die attitude, and he's totally fearless. Now going into this fight, on paper, I was leaning towards Floyd Mayweather because Victor Ortiz, I feel like Floyd has already faced a version of, or several versions of Victor Ortiz already in the past in terms of boxer punches. However, because Floyd Mayweather is 34, which in the world of sports is old, and Victor is young and has a puncher's chance, and like I said, he's not just a puncher, he's a boxer puncher, so he's not like, no disrespect, he's not like a Ricky Hatton that just comes straight at you. He kind of has a few tricks of his own along with the power. I mean, the fact that he took out on Andre Berto the way he did speaks volumes of the skill sets he has. Now going into the fight, Floyd was winning actually, but Victor did win a round. I mean, in the first 3 rounds, it was basically 2 rounds to 1 to Floyd Mayweather, and it wasn't like Floyd was dominating Victor. It wasn't one of those cases where Victor didn't look like he didn't deserve to be in the same ring with Floyd. He actually looked like he was on the same level as Floyd, and to me, watching that fight, he was giving Floyd a lot of problems. When I say problems, I mean Floyd was winning, but Floyd was uncomfortable. Victor made Floyd uncomfortable a lot of times in the fight. And in the 4th round, Victor Ortiz headbutted Floyd Mayweather. Now, that headbutt, in many ways it looked intentional, but in many ways there was you could give a legitimate argument as to how that headbutt came about. I mean, the argument that Victor, or the reason Victor gave was basically while he was pounding on Floyd. Floyd has very sharp, he has very snappy reflexes, very quick, sharp, hence why he's very good at boxing. So Floyd jumps in, which is too quick for Victor to react, but by that time Victor's jumping in, and hence the headbutt. So anyway, you look at it, it was a headbutt, yes, and they took a point from Victor. You're good to go. Now they come to the center of the ring. You go and watch on YouTube or wherever. They come to the center of the ring. Obviously, Victor is saying, sorry, la da da da. And before the fight is even properly underway, Floyd punches him, hooks him, gives him a two-hit combination, and Victor's knocked out. Blatantly a cheap shot. I'm reading a lot of articles by sports writers and they're saying it's legal. Yes, it's legal. If you want to be technical, yes, it was legal, but it was cheap. It was blatantly a cheap shot. So blatant. I mean, it wasn't even one of those things that you say, oops, or like the headbutt. Now I'm giving you, you sit down and you dissect it and you analyze. This for me was blatantly a cheap shot. Anyone watching that fight and says that isn't a cheap shot, to me, you're lying. Either lying to yourself or you're just lying. Full stop. Because there's no way you can look at that with an honest mindset and not know that that was a cheap shot. That was blatantly blatantly a cheap shot. And Victor Ortiz can put his head up high, because for me it was a 2-1. That fourth round, Floyd was uncomfortable, and that's why. And for me, that's one of the reasons why he did that. One, he was uncomfortable, and that is why, if you see the post-fight interview, he starts getting leery and loud and rude to Larry Merchant. That's the HBO post-fight interviewer, because he knows what he did was wrong. He knows what he did is wrong. But anyway, that's boxing for you. Boxing has never been a clear-cut sport for many reasons. But I think, you know, someone said it very well. Again, in an article that I read, that for someone like Floyd, who likes to scream and shout that I'm the best in the world, no one can beat me. At one time when him and Victor were going head to head, I think in the last press conference before the fight, he was saying, "Oh, it's an easy night for me. It's an easy night for me." If you're saying all that and you think you're the best, why throw a cheap shot? Because for me, and I'm just talking, I spar, I do MMA, I'm going to be fighting professionally next year. For me, and I'm not going to lie, the times when I've done cheap shots is because I was uncomfortable, and it's because I felt, well, I wasn't winning, I'm just going to, do a cheap shot, And that's just the mindset, really. But anyway, what this fight proves to me, I was on the fence, but what this fight has shown me is, if Floyd should ever get in the ring with Pacquiao, Pacquiao will have him for lunch, because Pacquiao is a faster, more accurate, and he doesn't have as much power as Victor Ortiz, but he has, basically Victor Ortiz's power is 10, Manny Pacquiao's power is probably like 8. So for me, if Pacquiao should get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather is getting beaten up, and that's what this fight has shown me. And I don't think that fight is going to happen, because Floyd is so afraid of losing. He's not going to fight Manny Pacquiao. But anyway, like in all my videos when I put it out, I like to give you a scripture. Today's scripture is going to be from Ephesians 5 verse 1. And it's basically just saying, if you want the perfect example of how to live your life and how to think, all you need to do is just look at the example of God through Jesus Christ. That's it. Anyway, it's nice talking to you. Yeah, tell me what you think. Let me know what you think. I really want to know what you think about the cheap shot that I'm calling a cheap shot. If you disagree with me, please, I want to see your arguments in full, because, I was shocked when I saw that. That's why I'm making this video. But anyway, take care. God bless. Peace.